some extent, I think a lot of people don't want to work. They think that, you know, I'm gonna quit my job that I hate. I'm gonna go do real estate. And the reality is, you're gonna have to work double, and you're still gonna hate what you're doing, even in real estate. Just kind of my thoughts.
Yeah. Funny thing is, I love real estate, man. I didn't know I did. I freaking love it. And so for me, I would love to get into real estate. I want to get a little bit more. I have a base right now. Like for example, I was just talking to my wife before this. I know in my heart that if I was to quit Intel, which I'm not going to do, but if I was to quit Intel, move to Arizona, which I can't do because I have kids here and I got another 4 years till I can do that, I would crush it as a co-living operator. I mean, I'm not trying to be arrogant. I know in my heart I could, you know, network with people. I've got people right now that I could go out and I could manage their properties, buy my own, and create a business out of that. But one, I don't want another job, right? I'm trying to get my time back. You know, I could do that for a little while or whatever, maybe hire somebody and put them in there. But I actually really like the real estate. I heard Dion or somebody, I think it was, I don't know if it was Dion, but one of the three guys, that they don't actually like real estate. They're just doing it as a means to an end to get their life back. Maybe it was Dion, I don't know. But for me, I actually like it. I like the deals. I like working with people and networking and all that stuff. So, well, what do you guys feel about that?
Why can't you recreate that? Like you say that in Arizona, but like you can recreate it. You don't have to. You can put people in place and train them to do the business, and then
you could, but that's a job in itself, overseeing people. The only reason I was able to do it last year is because I had the time. It wasn't working. So, but that'd be interesting to go down that path. Like, do you guys? Maybe we'll go through one by. Let's start at the top. Is that cool? Like, hey, John. Oh, John, are you back? He's still detached. Ricky, you're at the top there on my list. Do you like real estate? Or are you doing this as a means to an end?
A little bit of both. I like the aesthetic of improving the community, because finding older properties and bringing it up to standard, I just love the look of it, and just loving that the city or the town is not getting destroyed over time and just looking decrepit. It's just bringing it up to standards and people can live there for, you know, pretty cheap, or bring it up to market price or whatever. So I like a little bit of both of it, but I also am somewhat lazy. So I like the aspect of I can make real estate work by just overseeing things and not putting too much sweat equity into it if I had to.
Yeah. Have you talked to or met Millennial Mike by chance, Ricky?
No, I would love to meet
you guys Mike. Should talk. I've met him a few times. You guys should talk. You guys have a lot in common. I've got his number. Maybe I'll ping him and say, hey man, you got to talk to this guy Ricky. I think you guys would get along. He's investing in Gary, Indiana, right?
Just, the king of Indiana.
Yeah, he's crazy, man. Like, I joked around and said, does your property manager have a bulletproof vest and a gun? And he goes, actually, she does. I'm like, damn, that was a total joke. But anyway, sorry. Hey, is it cool if I go down the list and ask this? So Dennis, you already gave it. Hey, Mark, you got to speak, man. Do you like real estate, or are you doing it as a means to an end? He's probably working. Mark and Mikey like to lurk. I call them lurkers. They just hang out and lurk.
I'm always working. I'm just here to support. But I already commented. I said I don't like real estate. I just like making trouble. I like the networking part of it.
You do like making trouble. I got to give you that. I like to stir it up, man.
I like to keep it interesting. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, I like building wealth. I guess that's how you would put it.
Yeah. So you're not, that's really interesting. I would have guessed, is that because, let me, this might sting a little bit, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Before you got kind of, you know, in over your head a little bit, did you like real estate then, or once you got a little deep and you kind of got a little sketched out there, was that where you started to, or did you always not like it, or just kind of like it, or did that change your mind?
No, I think it's more just, I'm definitely like Dion, where it's, I'm not trying to flip homes. I'm not trying to rent by the room. I'm not. So it's really, for me, it's really kind of a boring, you know, you can only look at a property so much and analyze it so much. And, you know, so for me, it's kind of just like, yeah, it's there, but I'm not going down all these different paths to that. I mean, maybe if I was younger and I was going to be branching out and trying to do different things, then it might be a little more interesting. But right now it's kind of just, yeah, I'm having fun with it, buying whole. I mean, I like learning about it, but I'm not going to sit there analyzing properties all day and doing that. But yeah, it's more fun just, hearing what you guys are doing and, connecting with everyone and kind of stirring the pot once in a while,
You like the community, the people part, not necessarily real estate. Gotcha.
Yeah.
What about you, Gina? Do you like real estate, or are you just doing it as a means to an end?
Well, I am a realtor, and so I always liked it. When I first bought my first condo, I was like, this is fun. So, but I do get trapped with the shiny object syndrome, and I could analyze something all day long, and I do a lot of analysis, and I'm interested in all kinds of investments. So my problem is, limiting, focusing, understanding what is the purpose? What is what is the goal? Because I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. I can constantly, all these things I could do. It's like, to what end? And so for me, I'm looking, I need to work more on analysis and really knowing all the details of what makes a good deal. What is a good deal? What are the factors that go in? And there's so many moving parts. Like, how do we, look at, is it, insurance cost and property tax rate, not just the price, but the rate, and then there's, of course, and then as price per square foot is the rent, and then actually the rent always almost comes in the last to play. It's more about like, I can't afford it. But it's hard for me to go, okay, Gina, just look at this as a number, which is why I'm like, oh, I should get into note invest. I should do notes, or
I know a guy who does that.
Something that's just numbers, and it's like, that definitely doesn't sound as much fun.
Yeah, well, if you're trying to be passive, there's a guy named Sonny Sukumar. That's what he does. He does note investing. I can put you guys together if you want. So. No?
That's my point. It's like, yeah, no, thanks, Jared. I might, but I'm like, you're doing the room rental, and I'm like, that's cool. And now I'm kind of like, oh, then there's residential assisted living. That would be definitely strong in my market. I'm open to all of this stuff, and so it's like a lot too much analysis, not enough time. And I got to focus on like actions. Like right now I'm opening my mail. It's like, get this stuff going. Action.
Well, since we started down this path, let's hit up the last three people, if you guys don't mind. Herman, what do you like real estate, or is it a means to an end?
I think I like real estate. I think I have been doing different things, and then I just explore. Like, I try trading, I try options selling, done that. I have my own IT consulting company. I have a 9 to 5.
Nice.
Do all this stuff, and then I started investing like maybe 10 years ago. It's basically start with my first house, and then I have to move, and then I just keep the first one as a rental, right? So it's kind of like I accidentally become an investor. And then after all this, I think I kind of always go back to real estate. So I think I kind of like it, but I mean, to be honest, it's a love-hate sometimes. What